Hello, everyone. This is Matthew Bourne, and welcome to this very special screening of the New Adventures production of The Red Shoes. The Red Shoes, as many of you will know, is a very famous British film from 1948 about dance. And for me, it was probably my earliest experience of witnessing ballet as an art form in this film. I think I saw it when I was a teenager. I certainly wasn't into ballet when I was a young man. That all came later. But this was my introduction to that world. What an introduction. I mean, apart from being a cinematic masterpiece, it's full of incredible characters and rich storytelling and passion. People are very passionate about what they do. And for me, ballet seemed to be that. That's what I knew it as, these very almost outrageous characters who came together to put together things of great beauty. So it kind of influenced me, I guess, at a very early age. I don't suppose I really thought about turning that into a dance piece or a movement piece at the time, but it did have a big effect on me. When I came to, many years later, to actually challenging myself to put this piece together, I suppose I thought, firstly, am I crazy? You know, it's a piece of cinema. What are we doing, making it into a stage show? But then I thought, well, what I need to do is make it theatrical rather than cinematic. And of course, the two go hand in hand somewhat in some of my work, but this was really an exciting prospect. I don't normally like making pieces of dance about dance. There are quite a few of them around, and I don't enjoy that so much, but I felt this was such an extraordinary story about the passion for creation and also the sacrifices that are made. And the main story is a story of a young girl who wants to be this great artist, this great dancer. And she manages to achieve that in what is, we assume, the best company in the world to get into, the Ballet Lermontov. And in the process of that, in the process of creation, actually, in the creation of the Red Shoes Ballet, which is a central part of the story, she falls in love with the composer of that piece. And she is then pulled in two directions with her love life and her professional career. And of course, today, this is not a problem and shouldn't be a problem. But in the 1940s, when this piece was made, Boris Lermontov, the impresario of the company, made it very clear that he was not happy about this. He felt you should devote your whole life to art. And I do understand sometimes what he was saying. But I found that very compelling. And the idea of a dance company telling a story about a dance company. I mean, I did have qualms initially about whether we were the right company to do this piece. We're not a classical ballet company. We're contemporary dance theatre company. And that company of that era seemed to be trying out many different styles of dance. It wasn't all necessarily on point. They were a company of eccentrics who toured a lot, very much like New Adventures, actually. We tour a lot. We are, everyone is eccentric, but it's a mix of people from different backgrounds and different kinds of training. And it felt like everyone had something to offer this piece. And I felt we were the right company to tell this story. I suppose the next thing that was very important to me to find was, how do we tell this story through movement? It's known as a dance film, but of course dance takes up a percentage of the film, but probably about a quarter of the film maybe. The rest of it is a drama, and we had to find a way of telling the whole story through movement and acting and mime and of course music. And for me, the music in the film, there wasn't enough music to tell that whole story too. There was the ballet, famous ballet, which actually won an Oscar for its score. But it wasn't enough to tell the whole story. So I was working at the same time on a possible project with the composer, with the music of the composer, Bernard Herrmann, another great film composer. And I put the two ideas together, and I felt that his music of that era, so his film music of that era, could could create a wonderful score for dance. And indeed it does. And it's one of the things I'm most proud of in this production is that we've brought this music, which was written mainly for films, some concert pieces, but mainly for films, to a new audience. And it's never been danced to before, and it's never been presented theatrically in this way. So I'm very proud of that, to bring this great score to everyone. Les Brotherston, the designer I always work with, and Paulie Constable, who is the lighting designer I regularly work with now, have both outdone themselves in this piece and created an incredible landscape of color and places and atmospheres that tell the story we're telling, taking us from London to Paris to Monte Carlo, into small bedsits, big stages, all over the place. It's incredible what they've done in this piece, much to enjoy there. In the film, you will see many of the dancers who are current stars of my company, led by Ashley Shaw as Vicky Page, the lead dancer, who has won at least two or three awards for her role in this piece, creating this role. She's absolutely wonderful and enchanting performer. We were lucky enough to be joined by Adam Cooper, who's an old star of my company, of course, from several years back now with Swan Lake. He was our original Swan in Swan Lake, and he came back to us for this season. We were lucky enough to capture him on film in this recording as Boris Lermontov. Dominic North, one of the most popular dancers in the company, plays Julian, the composer. And we also have Michaela Miazza as Irina, Liam Moa as Ivan, and Glenn Graham as Grisha, who are the main dancers and creators of the company, and they all give incredible, witty and wonderful performances. So there's much to enjoy. It's interesting how this piece turned out from being a cinematic piece of work into what I feel has turned into a sort of love letter for me for my love of theatre. Which seems particularly poignant at these times when we've not been able to be on stage for so long. So watching this piece has added poignancy at the moment. Of course, we can't wait to get back to doing what we all love. And this piece exemplifies that so much, about people who love doing what they do, have a passion for it. And hopefully our audiences have that as well and want that and need that. So for the time being, this is the next best thing for you to watch this piece, next best thing to the live experience. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it makes you long to come back to theatres when they reopen. Sending you all much love, and thank you for watching, and please enjoy New Adventures production of The Red Shoes.